Full self-driving may be degraded. For why? This must be what it's like for all the cars that use the CCS, like Electrify America and all those chargers. Okay, so the car has changed its mind yet again. Construction vehicle guy wandering across the road. Now it's telling me to stay below 69 to reach my destination. Good morning, folks. So when I did the route this morning, there is a charger, a supercharger in Cadillac that I normally go to, but apparently it is temporarily closed. Last time I went there, which was a couple of months ago, it was frozen solid. Most of the handles were laying on the ground. I'm sure they're trying to fix that. And I don't even know if it was from a couple of months ago, but whatever. Because of that, the car has rerouted me. First of all, I'm doing my Fairview route today. So what I'm going to do is go from Grand Rapids to McBain to Fairview to Essexville to Cucaulin to Bay City. So we've got 4 stops and they're pretty spread out pretty far. Man. But because the supercharger in Cadillac is broken, the car wants me to stop in Big Rapids and get a charge and then go all the way to Gaylord and get a charge. So this drive is going to be longer than I anticipated, and I might skip the last facility tonight just so I don't get there super late. Whatever. I'm leaving at 68%. The supercharger is 52 minutes. It's 58 miles away. We're going to be preconditioning that entire time. It thinks I'm going to get there at 32%. It's going to be a little bit lower than that. It says it's going to give me a 16-minute charge. Let's get out of here because I'm just sitting in a Wendy's parking lot. So it's 28 degrees right now. Says it'll be 23 degrees when I get to the supercharger, 26 when I get to McBain, 29 when I get to Gaylord. This looks like fun. Oh, bus. All right. Car handled that pretty well. Let's see. 38 when I get to Fairview, 35 when I get to Essexville, 42 when I get to Bay City. So it's going to get warmer and warmer, which is good because my car is covered in snow and ice. I'm sitting in hurry mode. I still have the 20% offset. The car is bouncing between lanes trying to get me somewhere quickly. Anyway, it's going to be a long day. I hope you guys enjoy the ride. Full self-driving may be degraded. For why? Okay, so I just glanced down there, and we've got 9 minutes left to the supercharger, 10 miles. It now says that I'll get there at 37%. It was predicting, I think, 34, maybe 32% when we left this morning. It did say it was going to be a 16-minute charge. I just checked, and now it says it's going to be a 5-minute charge. Starting to think maybe I should just skip it, because I'm going to get to... No, maybe not. Oh, it updated the route completely. Now, hold on. Which one is worse? So the car updated the route. Instead of going all the way up to Gaylord, it's now going to take me to Clare. Which is wild. But Clare looks like it's closer than going up to Gaylord and then back down. I can see why it did it. I'm going to say I'm pretty impressed with the routing function in the car because Cadillac is broken. The supercharger in Cadillac is broken. So the car is doing its best to get me where it needs to get me. That's why it's only going to be a 5-minute charge here instead of a 16 minutes is what it said to begin with. So this 5-minute charge is enough to get me to Clare, which is enough to get me the rest of the way. That's wild. So it started out trying to get me to Gaylord, which is way up north, which is way out of the way. Then it found a better route. So good for it. And I'm wondering if I can just completely skip Big Rapids altogether. And also the reason I think they were getting here at a higher state of charge is because I mean, we were using 402 watt hours per mile. The reason I think we're getting here at a higher state of charge is because the car was had left some battery locked because it was cold. I hadn't driven it all weekend, and it snowed last night. It got down to like 14 last night, I think. So the car was cold. It was really cold. I didn't have the snowflake up here, which is kind of weird, but I bet there was still a little bit of energy that was locked because it was cold. And when it warmed up, it released that energy so you could actually use it. I bet that's why I'm getting there at a higher state of charge. But 5 minutes is better than 16, and going to Claire is better than going to Gaylord. So I'm happy with this. This must be what it's like for all the cars that use the CCS, like Electrify America and all those chargers. EVgo, when they get there and they're just broken. Ugh. I couldn't imagine going to Cadillac and it being broken. All right, I'm going to take over for the car before we get to the supercharger, and it's simply because it does a weird route. It's going to go all the way to that light and then come back when there's a road that you can just cut right through. It's redonkulous, and I don't understand it. It's not a FSD problem, it's a map data problem, so I'm not going to count that as a disengagement. See, it wants to go all the way to that light when it could just turn in here and be just fine. Map data is incorrect. There is a better route to the supercharger. And here we are. This is where it would have come back in after that loop. It legit wants me here for like 5 minutes. So I'm going to plug in and get this done with. Be back in a sec. Okay, so the car has changed its mind yet again. And this is, I guess, the best thing to do, but we'll see. It wanted me to go all the way up to Gaylord this morning and charge there and then go to Fairview, which is kind of nuts. Then on the way here, it decided to change the route to go to Claire and then Fairview, which made a little bit more sense. But now that I've plugged in, it's decided that I can make it all the way there if I charge completely here. So it wants me to stay here for 50 minutes, 45 now, to basically get a, I'm assuming, full charge. So that I can do all of this. Now, let's think about that. It wanted me here for 5 minutes to drive out of my way to go to Claire and stay there for 33 minutes. And then go up there. Which takes an hour and 4 minutes to drive to. Takes an hour and 4 minutes to get to Claire. This is the correct move. Just from that alone, this is the correct move. So it would take an hour and 4 minutes to get to Claire. It would take 35 minutes to charge. And then it would take an additional hour and 36 minutes to get to Fairview. So you're looking at 3 hours to get there. And 3 hours from 10:30, 10:20, whatever, would be 1:20. So this is saving me apparently a half an hour. But seeing as how I've got tons of time here, I am going to check emails and go use the bathroom. So I'll be back in just a sec. All right, it went up to 97%. It didn't tell me to stop charging, but I'm going to get to the hotel at 8%, and I'm okay enough with that. I don't want to stay here much longer, because now I've gotten to the point where if I had gone to Claire and gone back, I'd get to the Fairview facility at the same time. So I'm going to bounce and get up out of here. So far, we've driven 58 miles, and we've used 23 kilowatt hours at a rate of 389 watt hours per mile. I'm hoping that the battery's nice and toasty now, and since we're not going to any other superchargers, hopefully the efficiency will improve, which means that 8% will be That 8% arrival time will be higher than that. Bad map data, we can get out a different route that's more efficient. So again, I'm not going to count that. It has the right blinker on it. I'm sorry, it has the left blinker on it. Should be the right. Figured it out. Okay, good deal. Complete stop, and off we go. Love to see that. Let's see, we've got 45 minutes to drive 48 miles. I should get to my first facility at 48%. Unfortunately, it's going to be way later than I expected. I'm probably going to skip that last facility today. Now it's telling me to stay below 69 to reach my destination. This isn't fun. None of the percentages have changed. So I'm not going to worry about that. So I have a feeling if the car can't make it, it'll reroute me to some supercharger somewhere. And it took that away now, so... but it's also trying to show weather information. So maybe it's just not displaying it right now. Oh, no, it's gone. So I don't know what that was about. Okay. I've got wind coming from the south that's actually pushing me forward, so it's saving me energy. Use that as long as I can. If the wind stays that same direction, by the time I leave Fairview, it'll become a detriment. There, it's back. Now it says 68 miles per hour. Oh, if only Cadillac worked. Yeah, I've got 26 miles here, and then I'll be off the highway. And I should get some more efficient driving in. But the watt hours per mile is actually dropping. I'm still using a crazy amount of 344. It's going up to 346. Oh no. 347. 348. What is it doing? It's because it's trying to go so fast. But I would rather get there. And at the moment, it says I'll arrive at 6%. I'm okay with that. I'm okay getting there at 0%. Because there is a supercharger right across the street from the hotel, which I had planned on going to anyway. Down to 329. I'll tell you one good thing is I haven't touched the steering wheel or the accelerator pedal at all, other than taking over from bad map data twice. All right, it's up to stay below 68 to reach your destination. Watt hours per mile are down to 319. So it dropped down to 5% arrival at the hotel, and now it's up to 6. It is getting warmer out. It's 36 now instead of 28. It claims it'll be 40 by the time I get to the hotel. So, I think we'll be fine. You know what's wild to me is Tesla is a vertically integrated company. So they make the cars, they make the software, they make like everything on this car. Now, I'm sure they don't make everything on this car, but they make enough of it that they shouldn't have fragmented software. Where this says stay below 66, but the car does 82. Where it says it's poor conditions outside, we're going to slow down, but the windshield wipers don't go. You know, that kind of thing shouldn't happen if you are the one that created the hardware and the software that runs on it. So as soon as the car slowed down below 66, this message turned from yellow to gray. I've never noticed that before. Of course, I've never had charging issues before either. Good job. So it's saying 4% at the hotel now. And I've dropped to 304 watt hours per mile. I want to see that around 275. So in a 55 with a 20% offset, 66 is the max it will drive, which is exactly what the car wants. So there was a road up here that was there's 2 roads right here. There's this one, and then the next one, the farthest one is the one we want to take. I feel like it's going to take... No, it's taking the correct one this time. Last time it didn't, so fantastic. Good work, car. There was more snow on the ground last time, though. That could be it. This happened last time, too. The car thinks it's 45 on this road. I haven't seen a speed limit sign, so I think it's 55. So its max is now 54. Someone comes up behind me, I'll increase the max. I mean, there is someone behind me, but we're pulling away from them. Here they come, so up we go. Oh, I disengaged on accident. So I'll set it to 62, and I'll step on it. Birds in the road. Not sure what it's confused about. But I am going to step on it again. Stepping on it again, that's third pedal press, one wheel touch. Yeah, it just doesn't want to stay up there, which is really weird. So that's the fourth pedal press, one wheel touch. Down to 54, stepping on it again. Fifth time. It's bringing me back to my version 12 days, where I always had to keep the car above a certain speed limit, and it would always drop down below it. Sixth time pushing it up. Like, was I wrong? Is the car actually integrated with itself where this says stay below a certain speed and the car tries to do that? Doesn't make sense now, because if that was the case, it would have done that on the highway. And now it's just trying to fall way below where it's asking. Because this stay below is up to 68. It was at 65 when we got off the highway. Last time I came through here, I was confused as to why the car was using the alleyway here instead of staying on the main road. Where are you going now? See, last time it went through that alley. Now we're going around it. So strange. There's limbs down in the street. I don't think we're going to go. Yeah, we are. All right. Good job, car. So yeah, it could have gone straight through that. And this is where the alley would have let me out. But there's also that road that goes around that it could have come down as well. So I just don't think it's mapped correctly around here. Just going to drop me off here. Yep. All right. I'm going to put it back in drive. See if you can give me a parking spot. That one looks great. It doesn't look great. We're going to try it. The reason it doesn't look great is because this car is over the line and that one is close to the line. But it said it could park there, so I'm going to see if it can. Yeah, over the line, crooked, and really close. This is not a good parking spot. So I'm going to go find another one. That's crazy sauce. At least it got me in there. I mean, it can park there. When it comes to drop me off at the front door and go find a parking spot, that would have been fine. Because I would have been like, you know what? Come pick me up when I'm ready to go at the front door, and I won't even have to worry about it. You know, whatever. It tried. I'll give it props for that. We got here at 77%. It said I was going to get here at 78. And we also got here about 5 minutes early, so that's a +2. Our watt hours per mile dropped down to 283 on that leg. That's a beautiful thing. Work trip total is 341 watt hours per mile. it says I will get to the hotel at 7% now. It was 8% when I left. It dropped all the way down to 4% as we were driving here. I do have one more stint on the highway. This 127 is all highway there, and then it's back roads. So that's going to be fun as well. It says the next facility is 90 miles away. It's 1 hour and 37 minutes to get there. That should do that. All right, I'm going to knock this place out. I'll be back in just a sec. All right. All done in there. 45-minute stop. It's surprising that it took that long, but it is what it is. Next place is still 90 miles, still an hour and 40 minutes. It says I'll get there at 47%. So off we go. Object in path detected. Huh. It's twisting the wheel. It's probably concerned that all of this stuff is over on the side, so I'm just going to step on it, give it a little encouragement. Do it again. Come on, bud, you're fine. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. I don't know that we can get out this way, though. Guess we'll find out. Yeah, actually we can. But it's turning that way. It should turn that way. There's the exit. Where are you going? Whoa, it says I'll get to the hotel. Oh, it's adding the supercharger. Doop. All right. It says I'll get to the hotel at 7%, which is what it said earlier. So I guess we're just going to wander around. Guess we're just going to wander around the building until it finds a way out. No big deal. We got to interact with 2 pedestrians back there, so I don't mind going behind the building. There we go. Found its way out. Okay. So now we're taking this segment of... Oh. Okay. Now we're taking this segment of the alley that we bypassed coming in. But we're going to take it on the way out. It hit the brakes coming in here for some reason. So it thinks it's 25 all of a sudden. Its max is 48. If it's truly 25, the max should not be 48. It should be 30 with a 20% offset. So a max of 48 would put me at 40 miles an hour. So the offset is acting like it's 40 miles an hour. The car is driving 46, but it's displaying 25. I truly think it's 55 back here, but since I'm all alone and it's only a mile and a half, I'm not going to argue with it. Especially because my watt hours per mile are looking beautiful. And the message has gone away to stay below 67 or whatever. And it still thinks it's 25. And it's a max of 44 now. That one doesn't make mathematical sense. So I'm going to pop the max up to 62. And see what the car wants to do. Because it was pushing against the 44 max. See, a 35 mile an hour speed zone at 20% offset would put it at 42 max. The car would have to think it was like a 36 max. 241 watt hours per mile. It's amazing. It's 33 degrees. It's actually gotten cooler. Now we're back to normal. 16 miles on this road. Hopefully it's all going to be at 55 like it's supposed to be. All right, we just got on the highway. It's now 75 miles an hour. We were doing 232 watt hours per mile, which is amazing. And it says I'm going to get to the hotel at 8% now. There's not a message saying stay below a certain miles per hour to reach your destination. So I think the car has figured out that it's going to be fine. Oh, I'm not going to the last place, so I should probably just get rid of it now. There we go. Now it says it. I shouldn't have messed with it. Whatever. Oh, let's see. It rerouted. Now it thinks I'll get there at 4%. Which is weird because I took a stop out. Whatever. I'm still not worried about it. It did jump up to 241 watt hours per mile, though. Here we go again. Car thinks it's 45. It's really not. Set its max to 54. I'm bumping it up to 62. So that is 2 wheel touches this leg. Touching the wheel because the max should be 42. But it was set to 48. So that is the 3rd wheel touch. So I got here 4 minutes late, but that's because I stopped and got some food. I got here exact percentage it projected. So that's a bonus. It's going to drop me off here at the front door, I'm assuming. Yes. So I'm going to go park. All in all, that wasn't a bad drive. Next place is 56 minutes, 51 miles away. It says I'll get there at 30%. I'm sitting at 47 right now. That leg was 91 miles, took an hour and 44 minutes. I used 236 watt hours per mile. So that's a beautiful thing. It says now I'll get to the hotel at 6%. I took out the last facility en route here, and it dropped my arrival percentage to the hotel to 2%, and it has since come back. It got rid of the stay below a certain speed message, so that's good too. I think we're going to be all right. Anyway, let me knock this place out. I'll be back in just a sec. All right, still sitting at 47%. That's wonderful. 56 minutes, 51 miles. I'll get there at 30%. Car still thinks I'll get to the hotel at 6%. Everything's looking gravy. So off we go. All right, you're going to pull out in front of somebody. You better go. All right. So that's 1 wheel press because we pulled out in front of a truck. The speed limit on this road is 65, and that truck was doing 65. Construction vehicle, guy wandering across the road. Car handled it okay. I've never seen someone just meander across the road like that. Like lollygagging. How old am I? There's a bus up here. Yellow flashers just turned red. There's no one in front of me. I don't think the car is going to stop. No indication that it's going to. Oh, they turned them off. Man, I was really looking forward to that. I don't think the car is going to stop. It would have seen the stop sign on the side of the bus, and it probably would have slammed on the brakes at the last second. That's just my guess. If there's any buses out there that don't have those stop signs that flip out, yeah, I bet the car wouldn't stop. That's something I've been looking to try to test. But first you have to find a bus and be the first person there. And that's very rare. 65 sign again. Nothing. Anybody with FSD that has tested it around a bus and you were the first person, there was no one in front of you to stop you. Let me know. Did the car actually stop, or did it just act like it was going to go through? That's good enough, bud. I don't want to play around with this. Auto park canceled. Don't know why. What just happened right there? And how do I get it back? All right, I'll park it myself. Wonder what that was all about. I got nothing. It predicted I was going to get here at 30%. I'm here at 29%. That whole trip was 52 miles. It took me 52 minutes. We used 235 watt hours per mile that trip. So far, we've driven 250 miles using 70 kilowatt hours. 281 watt hours per mile for the entire trip. That's not too shabby. So the hotel is 1 hour and 9 minutes away at 66 miles. Says I'll get there at 6%. I'm not worried about this at all. All right, I'm going to knock this place out. I'll be back in just a sec. All right, still sitting at 29%. It's still 6% when I get there. An hour, 8 minutes, 66 miles. Let's get out of here. 25. It should be 30. It is 25 here. I'm going to touch that. Yeah, it set itself to 36. That's crazy. I'm setting it down to 30, so there's an immediate wheel touch. You're almost too far from known charging locations when there's one right across the street from the hotel. I guess it did say almost too far. You got 2 lanes, bud. Come on, use one. Use the other one. Go around them. There you go. Nice job. And right back. I felt it slowing down. 45 plus 9. 54. All right. Did it correctly that time. Going into a 35. Should be 42. There it goes. See, when it works, it works. But for some reason, it doesn't work all the time. There you go. Right up to 55. If it always did just like that, that section of road, that section of speed limit changes, if that's the way it did all of them, I would have nothing to complain about. I wouldn't touch the wheel. I wouldn't touch the accelerator pedal. Only in emergencies. Not because the car was messing up. Or when it asked me to apply slight turning force to the steering wheel. And it just randomly hit the juice. it's so random. We were doing what, 60, 61? And it's like, I guess I can step on it now, and it does. Makes no sense. Whoa, buddy. Okay. Can't believe that goal had the goal to. All right. Battery very low. Vehicle consumes power while idle. Charge now to ensure vehicle will start and avoid potential battery damage. We recommend charging now. Okay. So that last leg was 66 miles. It took me 1 hour 1 hour and 4 minutes. I used 267 watt hours per mile. Today, I drove 316 miles. Used a total of 88 kilowatt hours. Today's overall trip was 278 watt hours per mile. So that's 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. Just over 3.5. That's not too shabby considering how cold it was when I first started. And it's 46 degrees now. NBD. Today's drive was pretty good. I'd have to say it's all the speed stuff again, because all my wheel touches and pedal presses were speed related. I disengaged 3 times today, but I'm not counting any of them. Twice it was to pass somebody, and once it was because I was gonna stop at a fast food place and get some lunch. Nobody's fault. NBD. All right. So that's that. If you liked it, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. If you think somebody else would like it, share it with them. And if you really liked it, you could subscribe to see more. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, or concerns, just leave them down below and I'll get to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Deuces. If you emptied the Great Lakes and flooded the entire United States with the water that's in them, everything would be flooded by 9.5 feet. There's that much water in just the Great Lakes alone. Today I found out.